Hi everybody and welcome. It's Lynn. Today I want to show you how I made this bracelet. We got these little elephants in our May. Um, I can't remember. I think these were in the companion bundle. And I made a bracelet and we got two in our package. So I'm going to show you how I did this using the Zebra Jasper. Um, I had these shell beads in my stash and I used them for that because I thought they looked nice. And then I used the little elephant shell beads that we got as well. Excuse me. Okay, so if you want to watch how I did this, this is really more of just a technique video, just to show you something maybe a little bit different. I have the first half of the bracelet done. I haven't put a clasp on yet because I'm waiting to see exactly how long it turns out so that, I pick the right clasp. If I need something short, to make it short, or if I need a little more room. So what you'll need is a couple of clamshell findings. I'm using size 2 crimp tubes, and you would need 4 to make this. You need a couple of jump rings to attach your clasp, and you'd need 2 um, crimp bead covers. Okay, so I've obviously already used one on this part. Now, the spacer beads I used came from my stash. They're 3 millimeters because it was a matter of sizing. I was trying to work on the length of the bracelet, and I had some that matched the bead covers, but they were just too big. I tried them and it just wasn't going to work. So I have these 3 millimeter ones. And then, of course, these crystals were in our bundle, and the beads come from that. Okay, so I'm using a gold beading wire because it's going to show a little bit. There's nothing you can do about that. It's just the way it is. Okay, so what I did was I came up through the elephant bead like so and just bent it over. Okay, and the length of beading wire that you need depends on how long you want to make your bracelet. I cut just enough, really. You don't need a whole lot for the clasp if you do it this way because we're using that clamshell. Okay, so once you get both of the wires inside that crimp bead, you want to try to make it match the distance that the other one is, and that's looking pretty good right there. So then we're going to crimp it. So I'm going to grab my crimping pliers and crimp it right there. So we crimp, we turn a half quarter turn and close it on down. If you're wondering about these crimping pliers, I got them on Amazon and they're Xuron, Xuron, and I love their tools. Okay, and then I'm going to cut the excess of my beading wire off. Okay, then I'm going to take a crimp tube cover. Another little trick is if your crimp tube cover is not open enough, just take a pair of pliers with a skinny tip like that, stick them right in that opening and just open them a little bit. And that opens up your crimp bead enough to get it around the crimp tube. Sometimes they get squished too much, but I think that'll go. No, it's still pretty small. It's easier to get these on if they have a big enough hole, or opening, I should say. Okay, that should work. Then I just grab them with my pliers, holding the bracelet on my bead mat. I want them to close on the back, so I just kind of put it on there like that and give it a little squeeze, and then turn it over and finish it. Ooh, it's twirling a little bit on me, but there we go. Just very carefully, very gently, finish closing that as best you can. Try to hide that seam as good as you possibly can. And that looks pretty good. Okay, then we're just going to add our beads. And I already have them pulled out and in the right order. So I'll string these on here real quick, and then we'll put the end on it. I actually like using the clamshell covers. It just makes it really easy to me. You don't have to worry about getting that perfect crimp so much. Almost got it. I love these coin beads. I think they're so pretty. I saved 2 out to make a pair of earrings. And I wound up with 2 of these left over, 2 of the coin beads left over. Okay, so there it is, it's strung. And you see, I don't need a lot of wire to finish it up. So I'm going to take my clamshell, and I'm going to open it pretty wide so that I can get my pliers in to close that crimp tube. So you put your clamshell on first. My goodness, hopefully you're not as clumsy as I am. Then your crimp tube or crimp bead, whatever you use. I personally don't really care for crimp beads. They always look awful when I do them. Just squish that down real good. Make sure it's closed real good on that wire. Cut off your excess wire. And close the clamshell. I'm going to get this out of the way. And then we'll see what kind of clasp we need to put on here. I want to try to sell this, so I want to make it a pretty standard length. I'm not going to keep it myself. As much as I love these beads, I don't wear very much brown at all. As a matter of fact, I don't think I own anything other than slacks that's brown. Okay, so this is 7 1/4. So I want a pretty small clasp. So I'm going to use this magnetic clasp, and I'm going to put a safety chain, because on bracelets I just have a hard time trusting that the clasp will hold, you know. So I have my 2 jump rings here. Get the right pliers. I'm going to open them up. Okay. And I'm going to put one side of the clasp on and the safety chain. And then I'm going to put it on the bracelet and close that jump ring real good. I'm using a small jump ring, so it's a little bit harder to maneuver, but we'll get it. And I'll get a necklace put together of the round beads as soon as I can get to it. I've got to take some time and post stuff on my Etsy site. I'm lazy about that because it's quite honestly a lot of work. Okay. So now we'll get our other jump ring, and I want to make sure that I get the safety chain on the same side of the bracelet as that side. Okay, so I'm going to pull that out. Here I need the safety chain on first. I always use a real small chain for that. Normally I like chain that's a little bit bigger, but I don't for a safety chain. This one's so small it's actually a little bit of a challenge to get the jump ring in it. Well, come on. There we go. Gosh. Are y'all enjoying the weather? It's so nice here. I hope it is where you are. Put our clasp and then our bracelet. And we'll close that. Okay. And let me just double check, make sure. The bad thing about using a safety chain with magnets is it bunches up around the magnet, but you know, that's okay. Okay, see, we have our safety chain on the same side on both sides of the bracelet. So there's our cute little bracelet with our cute little elephant. And we'll make our earrings now. So what I did was I took out some small ball head pins, head pins. I'm just going to put a little elephant on it. And I'm just going to do a wrapped loop at the top of him. Okay, up and over, turn your pliers and take that to the back. Okay, and then grab that loop and wrap. That's a little tiny head pin, I'll tell you. Oh my goodness. Okay, and now we just cut off the excess of our wire and we have our little dangly do done. Okay, and if you have anything sharp, you want to just tuck it under. I'm trying to stay in frame, y'all, but this is little. Oh shoot, and it's just turning every which way. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to take an eye pin, just going to open it up and put the little elephant on it. Close it up good. And then I'm going to put my coin bead on there. This is a very, very simple pair of earrings, y'all. Nothing complicated here. We're going to do a wrapped loop here as well. So bend it over, turn your pliers around, come up and over, turn your pliers and go to the back. Okay. And I'm just going to wrap that. When you're doing a wrap loop, you want to try to lay that wire down one side beside the other, if you can see that. See how I just kind of stacked the wire? Okay, and it's easier to cut off if you just kind of lift that piece up just slightly. Cut off our excess. There we go. Tuck our little tail. Okay, take an ear wire, open it up. The nice thing about these is it doesn't matter which side you put it on because the elephants are done on both sides. Put that on there and close it up. And I won't do the other one on screen because I'm pretty sure y'all know how to do that if that's what you decide to do. But here's our little set. And it was quick and easy. Okay, you guys, well, that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Gave you maybe an idea or two. Um, I really appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber already, I would love it if you would subscribe and come back next time. All right, you guys, remember to take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.